Getting nerds, we're playing Victoria 3. We are out here with Russia, still working on getting the great game beaten. It's not going to be that much infamy to take the state of Kyrgizia from Uiyghurstan, but that's the primary thing we're going to be doing. I also think I am going to take Dobruja from the Ottoman Empire. I think that just makes sense. If Moldavia and Wallachia turn into one country, I can give it to them because I think it is mostly ethnically Romanian. So I think it just makes sense that it would be part of Romania. I think normally, I think at least by the time of Hearts of Iron 4, it's actually broken up, and I think it might still be, but I'm not sure. Ooh. We have a rousing speech captivating the public. This morning, Yakov Nikolsky, leader of the Orthodox Church, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of religious schools. Making an appearance before the public in St. Petersburg's main square, Yakov Nikolsky's powerful rhetoric left even his most embittered political opponents impressed. Excerpts from the speech are already being circulated across Russia, fanning the fires of an already roaring debate. This should ease the path to reform greatly, 15% enactment chance, or performances like this reflect well on Nikolsky and his cause. I'm going to do the first one. Having a strong Orthodox Church doesn't necessarily help me much. As far as Dobruja, though, I'm not doing it for a sort of national self-determination reasons. I'm doing it so that I can have access to Wallachia, because I don't actually have a border there, and unless Moldavia becomes my puppet, I'm not going to be able to be adjacent to their market to trade with them. Another thing I'm going to work on is getting another government administration expansion going here so that I can have myself a good time once I get religious schools going. So let me see, we're very short in Kharkiv. Where is Kharkiv? Kharkiv is here. We got plenty of infrastructure available. Let's put 10 levels of government admin in Kharkiv. And I'm actually going to put those at the top of my construction queue. Well, at least right after the things that are currently under construction. And that'll be fun. I mean, I'll get those ready to go pretty soon. Alright. Oh, sorry. I was going to read this event. The Great Kyrgizia Train Robbery. A spate of train robberies have been committed by daring gangs all across Kyrgizia, threatening law, order, and the purses of the wealthy all across the state. They came swaggering through the carriage. I recognized one of them from a wanted poster. No doubt in my mind it was the Herzen sisters. Our marshals will make short work of them, minus 5% authority. Or who cares about a train or two? Kyrgizia extra radicals from standard living decreases minus 50% migration attraction. You know, I'm going to go with the second one. It's not that I don't care about the law. I've got to keep my authority. I've got to maintain the authority of the tsar. That's what we're doing right now. That's our primary. That's the game, friends. Empire of Korea. I wonder if it turns them into Empire of Korea versus being Joseon. I wonder if it's a tech thing. I could definitely make them a protectorate, but it would be a bazillion, what you call it. It would be a bazillion, infamy. You know, it would be a bazillion of, you know, that thing. How much longer are we in a truce with Uiyghurstan? Alright, until middle of October. Alright, easy peasy. And we are currently colonizing Turkmenia right now. So, this should be sorted out as soon as this colonization is completed. For tech, we are heading towards pharmaceuticals and quinine once we get chemical bleaching done. I did build up a bunch of dye plantations in Persia, so we should have access to plenty of dyes for the sake of our lovely paper factories, which we're going to be using more and more of as the game goes on, because we keep expanding our government administration and our universities, and those both use a lot of paper. I think after this we're going to go to dialectics Because that's really... Oh, we actually have dialectic spreading already, so that should sort itself out relatively soon. Pleased about that. That'll increase our innovation, and that'll be very happy for me. I'll be very pleased with that. I think this might provide us with enough bureaucracy to enact religious schools without a problem in the event that it does. In fact, past this time, obligation from Prussia expired. That's fine. That doesn't concern me even in the slightest. I should take over Kalat. Hey, there it is. Well, we're short by 400, but that's completely okay. We've got everything we need to get. So what if I made them a protectorate? It would be 4.1 infamy. They only have the one state, though, so I could also do it that way. And then I could give them to Kandahar, and that would help Kandahar form Afghanistan. Which is a thing that's definitely on my priority list. There is chemical bleaching. I'm going to immediately go to paper bleaching for these paper mills. That's going to make them very effective. And is that going to make the paper conglomerate of Russia increase in prosperity? No, it is not. Gosh darn it. Even though I've got all these things. All right, hold on. We need another general in this army. Let me see. Stalwart defender, reserve. You're the guy. Really, I can't get these paper mills to be productive, can I? That's a real shame. Well, I guess they are continuing to hire, and they are continuing to be productive. These ones in Novgorod are being productive. They are mostly privately owned. I'm really hoping okay, we're at 10 productivity right now. Can I sell paper abroad? We've got quite a bit of it at this point. No, alright, that's just the trade interface goofing up. Hold on. Export trade routes, I say. Paper, paper, paper. For some reason I thought paper started with T, as in Trevor. Alright, we'll sell some to Spain and some to Brazil. We're still low on bureaucracy, so that's going to take a long time. But, you know, we're slowly gaining in bureaucracy. I think we're actually got enough right now to... Yeah, here we go, because I think we're getting something like 65 per level of bureaucracy here. Yeah, 65 bureaucracy per level. So that's perfectly fine. That's a perfectly reasonable quantity of bureaucracy to be accruing every time we build some bureaucracy. And that should get us up to where we need to be in good time. What if I bankroll Serbia? That's a thing still. Oh, I need central banking for that. That's going to be something I'm definitely going to need to get in the medium term, because central banking... That's over here. Central banking is, you know, bankrolling and doing stuff with debt is an important thing to be doing diplomatically. Especially if you're a large power with a very large economy, and the ability to throw cash around is extraordinarily effective. Netherlands having an Ashanti uprising over here in Africa. Oh, the Netherlands is doing actual colonization. Oh, that's wild. Ooh, I'm adjacent to Fouta-Janol. I can definitely take over that territory. But first, we're going to Uiyghurstan. I just have a bunch of conquests I want to do, and no time to do them in. El Salvador joined the British Empire. Alright, that's fine. Uiyghurstan. Give me your state. 0.6 infamy. They might accept. I would love it if they did. Because I only need the one state. Sad. What kind of an army have they got? No battalions? Alright, cool. 4th Corps, you're going in. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to take over a country without an army in order to get a tiny sliver of territory. Revolts in the Trucial states. Sad. Huh. What the heck's going on in Switzerland? Oh, Switzerland's having a revolt. Neat. I'm probably not going to get involved here. Denmark is having a revolt as well. And I don't know what's going to become of that. I don't even know if they've got a front, just because of all this territory that Prussia's got. Alright. Prussian-Russian Fellowship demands action. The Prussian-Russian Fellowship has requested that we dissolve our defensive pact with Austria. Austria is a known opponent of Prussian interests. We must be as comprehensive as possible. Any other approach is irresponsible. Austrian aggression is as old as the hills. I fear that it may appear as if we are using our own nation as a piece on a chessboard for the sake of a foreign power. What would you say if pressed? A circumstantial alignment will not subordinate us. In this case, Prussian interests happen to be Russian interests. It is as simple as that. This is not in our interests. That's going to make them really mad, but I can live with that. On the policy of the government. Georgy Orlov, on behalf of the movement to enact cultural exclusion, has released a pamphlet fiercely criticizing the government's current stance on the issue. His pamphlet has become popular within reformist circles. On the Tsar's policy, the recent speech delivered by the esteemed St. Petersburg Society for Reform in mid-October, error and makeup, after reading first page of speech, passed to page 5, then page 4, and 6. We must respect the principle of free expression. The movement gets stronger and its radicalism goes down, or confiscate this pamphlet wherever it emerges. Movement radicalism goes up. Do I want cultural exclusion? I definitely personally want it, but it will make the Orthodox Church and the petite bourgeoisie big mad. And, you know, I'm the Tsar, so I can't have that. Confiscate it! Get that movement a little bit more radical. Exile from Liberia, interesting. Ooh, gold depleted in Buryatia. Where is Buryatia? Where are you? You're over here. Not much population. Interesting. Gold fields depleted. The rich mineral deposits in Buryatia have been drained. Mines are being shuttered, and all the prospectors who moved in are beginning to drift away in search of the next big strike. Alluvial gold dried up. Miners go home. River dried up due to miner activity. Shafts condemned as threat to life. Enter at own peril. Trespassers will be shot. Survivors will be shot again. I'm going to say we cannot just let them leave this time, because I do want to keep a decent amount of population here for the gold mines I'm going to build. Oh my gosh, there are 6 levels. That's incredible. That is just incredible. We're going to put them basically at the top of the construction queue. We're going to keep these universities up ahead. Not least of which reasons because they're nearly completed. And then we're just going to go on with that. Diplo play against Uiyghurstan is proceeding apace. There's pharmaceuticals. Beautiful. I really wish they would just say yes and we wouldn't have to do this. Because then I can go on with other aggressions in other areas. Again, grabbing all of Chitral is for sure a goal. I want to grab this tiny chunk of the Sikh Empire. I would love to grab Futa Jalal, which would let me progress into Africa. If I can get Futa Jalal, Karta, and Futa Toro, again, I can cut off the British, and that'd be nice. Oh boy, we got a lot of events here. A good vintage. The wine produced in Crimea has been lauded by sommeliers as outstanding. When people say that something ages like wine, they don't always make the distinction between wine and wine. So let me make that distinction. If you can get your hands on a bottle from Crimea, then that bottle can be more than just a good time. It can be an investment. Make this an exclusive product for export, increase production to meet booming demands. I'm going to make it a product for export. That's going to give me a little prestige bump, and if I recall correctly, my wine is pretty cheap. Yeah, wine's pretty cheap, so I don't need extra throughput. A foreign manifesto. The recently translated works of Hu Lu have become popular within the movement to enact cultural exclusion. The relationship has developed to the point of Hulu openly endorsing the movement. And for a whole large class, there is no other road, especially for a nation so eminently practical as the Russian. The great thing is to get the working class to move as a class, that once obtained, they will soon find the right direction, and all who resist will be left out in the cold with small sects of their own. Our struggle is an international one, plus 10 movement support, or this foreign interference ought to be punished. This makes the intelligentsia big mad. Can I live with the intelligentsia being big mad? I sure can. So this is going to weaken the movement and increase its radicalism. I'm going to do this. Kablamzon. And then finally, ever-increasing influence. Members of the Anti-French League have discreetly dispatched one of their number to amplify their mission in Russia's most widely read newspaper. The Anti-French League has calculated with utmost mastery the dissemination of materials to secure a foothold in both the political world and the public's imagination. With great satisfaction, a lobbyist comments, there is no denying that the number and reach of newspapers is ever expanding. This approach is sure to reach influential lawmakers in favor of our scheme. This sets a bad precedent, salty Orthodox Church, or this is ingenious. +1 appeasement, -5 legitimacy. I'm going to say it sets a bad precedent. I kind of been doing, but I'm going to continue to do, because I don't want to lose my legitimacy. I like my legitimacy. What happened? Oh, they deactivated Divine Right, and now my authority is down. Well, that's very sad. Sure wish that hadn't happened. There's dialectics. Beautiful. So this unlocks a new production method for universities. I'm going to go immediately to philosophy departments. Philosophy departments use a lot more paper, but they also produce a lot more innovation. Produce a lot more research. They turn paper into research, which is, I think, fairly accurate. The philosophy department. We have secured funding for philosophy departments in all of our institutions of higher learning. The University of Kursk has chosen to focus this funding on advancing Hegelian dialectics. Now that we're more or less seated, we can begin. Everything you do at this institution begins and ends with this portmanteau. Philo, meaning love of, and Sophia, meaning the huge cathedral in Oh, no, sorry. I'm told it means wisdom. The love of learning and thought is what philosophy is. Underpinning philosophy is the outlook by which we perceive life, the world, everything in essence. We can't necessarily teach you how to do a specific task here. What we can do is teach you how to learn and how to think about learning on your own. Antithesis, thesis, doing my best here. Shouldn't have come to a drunk cat for your Let's Play. Thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Blam. War's about to kick off. Should be a good, short, easy one. 2 arms. So after this, do I want to go after Chitral or do I want to go after the Sikh Empire? The temptation to go after the Sikh Empire is extremely, extremely high. Because I think this territory is in is kind of de jure part of Afghanistan. If I go after Kalat with a Conquer State CB, that's 10.2. And I could incorporate that into Kandahar as well. There's gold in Kamchatka. Wow, I took over a huge chunk of Uiyghurstan. Unfortunately, the territory that I mostly care about is not part of it. Gold rush. Gold has been discovered in Kamchatka. People from all corners of the earth are converging there, confident that they will discover the next great lode and become incredibly rich. It was a single misplaced foot in the river. His son quick at his side, hoisting him from the water before the currents claimed him. Then, as the sediment rose with both his leg and his walking stick, they saw it, the unmistakable shimmer of gold. Plutus's very blood. By the next morning, they were both at the river with sieves and shovels. By that night, the whole town had joined them. I'm going to say it's mine, all mine, as I always do, so we can get that river gold as fast as we can. And this should proc Ruler of the East, which should get an event. Once I've got... Yes, I got all this territory. This is Afghan control occupied, and this is Russian occupied. Yeah, here we go. Or Kandahar. It's not Afghanistan yet, it's Kandahar. You're going to be Afghanistan, though. I believe in you, my tiny puppet. My tiny puppet, you shall be in Afghanistan eventually. This better not end the great game with me in a stalemate with Great Britain, having conquered all of Persia, Central Asia, and basically Afghanistan. I would be really salty if I got a stalemate result out of this at this time. Money is funny. Sulfur's good to go. Oh, I've got a more lead-intensive method for my glassworks I need to be looking into. Let me see. Oh, gosh, I've only got 5 glassworks. And one of them is still producing forest glass because it's in Bohemia. All right, well, that is what it is. So I can go to crystal glass. That's going to add, it's going to reduce wood input and add 25 lead. I got 4 glassworks that I'm concerning myself with here. So it's going to need another 100 lead. Let's go ahead and throw 2 more lead mines into operation. We'll put them in Ural. Each mine's going to be producing 72 lead. Yeah, that'll be more than enough. All right, and we'll just throw those in at the top so that we can get that going ASAP. Once those are operational, we can switch over to the higher production method. Hey, Kyrgyzstan, or Uiyghurstan, give me Kyrgyzstan. How's that for coherency? Massively coherent tsar ready to rule the whole known world. Shibuya. Oh wow, that radical Denmark got occupied quick. Hey, another uprising in Austria. France colonized Timbuktu. That's fun. Sardinia became on sides with the Republic of San Marco. That's interesting. To Sicily's sides with the Republic of San Marco. Oh. And the Roman Republic has become a Roman Republic. Two Sicilies has got a lot of territory down there. Alright, and we are continuing to colonize this way. France is outrunning us, obviously, but we were there first, and there we go. Beautiful. So that's ruler of the East. So I'm feeling okay about Ulata. This is where that goes. By securing Primorye, the dream of Russian naval dominion over the Pacific has come closer to reality. The city of Vladivostok will become our new primary port in the east. This port can be considered the best of all. It reminds many of Volga, but only smaller than it, warmer and more pleasant. However, there are the same oaks all around, and the same picturesque mountains. In the lowlands, the rivers murmur, and there are many springs on the banks. Our post was set up the other day with its white tents. Looks good in a group of oak trees that have not yet been cut down and have only just been cleared. Rebase the Siberian flotillas with all haste. Creates level 2 naval base. Primorye gets a armed forces political strength increase, maximum naval base level, and naval base throughput. We get 10% prestige from Navy power projection for 10 years, or the port in Vladivostok shall be the finest in the nation, 2 free levels of ports. I think I'm going to... Let's see. And the permanent bonus here is port max level. I think port max level is better than naval base max level, so I think I'm going to go with the second one. Cool. And that gives us a free port, which is nice. Not exactly what I expected it to be. And we're hurtling towards consolidate the Central Asian holdings as well. For Codify the Chinese border, we can't actually do anything more with that. I could go after the Heavenly Kingdom. I suppose I could wage a pointless war against them, and then have we got potential diplomatic demands? Got a bunch of... Why are demands unavailable? We don't have an interest. Interesting. Alright, well let's go ahead and declare ourselves an interest. I'll declare an interest in North China. That's interesting. Because I could definitely go after them to get rid of those claims, but that seems silly. Let me see, we're at 13.9 infamy, so I could go after Kalat or Chitral at this point. I think going after Kalat makes the most sense. Well, but Chitral's around. Chitral's deceptive. Let me see. What are my Conqueror's 4.4 for this state, 7 for this state, and 3.9. So that's about 16. I'm going to need a buffer of 18 infamy in order to do stuff. We're getting close to that, though, so I think I'll just wait and finish that out once I'm low enough in infamy. How much would it be to just take over Furatoro right now? 4.1. Furajalon, 9.7. Okay, that's interesting. That's going to take some time. We are hurtling towards quinine here, which will make our colonization speed higher. Gold depleted in Primorye. Gold fields depleted. I'm going to just say we cannot just let them leave, the same as I always do. This event, we're going to end up seeing a lot because there's a lot of gold in Russia. And I'm going to queue in 6 more gold mines. I'm actually going to not queue them up to the top because I think I'm over-prioritizing these gold mines. And overall, the railways are actually more important, particularly the ones that I'm building in allied countries to help their economies keep growing. It's critically important that their economies be allowed to keep growing. Because that's something that we desperately, desperately need. We need our allies to keep up here. How's our leverage with respect to Wallachia? 89 still. USA siding with Hamburg. Oh, that's Prussia. I don't know why. Wait, hold on. USA supporting Hamburg. USA, you still only have 14 battalions? How is this possible? They're such a huge country. Did you go to... No, they're still a national militia. I don't know what's going on over there in the USA. Oh boy, everyone's getting involved. New Grenada is lining up against Prussia? Ridiculous. Netherlands and USA are going to fight. Over Hamburg. That's very silly. I have to say, I consider it extremely silly, and extremely silly indeed. So I got my interest over here. I do liberate. Do I need an interest in their capital? Where's their capital, first of all? Their capital is Chongqing. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I do not have an interest in... This is Chongqing right here, so I don't have an interest in that area. If I declare an interest... If I scrap my interest in... Oh gosh, you know what? I forgot to start colonizing Athabasca again. Oh, that was really dumb. I've got an interest in the U.S. West Coast. If I remove my interest in the U.S. in New England and declare it in South China, that should give me access. What I should really do is do a naval expansion to get myself some extra Navy power projection. That's probably the right way to go here. And then I won't need to worry about it. Paper conglomerate is slowly starting to gain prosperity now, or was at least briefly. Wow, I got a huge pile of bureaucracy. When did that happen? Not that I'm complaining. Did I have a huge bureaucracy debuff? I guess I did. Well, that's just fine. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's interest groups. Yeah, it's the petite bourgeoisie providing you with a big buff. Let's increase education. Let's get education going up. And Denmark backs down. Interesting. There are a lot of countries that are potentially cooperative with me. Wonderful. So if I go after Chitral, if Sikh Empire aligns against me, which I hope they do not, but they are moderately likely to do. Let's go ahead. I don't have any influence to improve relations with them. That's a tragedy. I do want to kick off the diplomatic play against Chitral before the end of the episode, but it is actually getting to the end of 1868. So let's actually put a pin in it, and we will get fighty in Central Asia next time. For now, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun as well, and I will see you on the other side.